If you're ready to stop guessing and start actually dominating in Roblox Rivals, you have come to the right place. We've taken the best strategies from the top players and boiled them down into a complete system. So let's get into it.
So let's start with a feeling I think we all know. You're hitting your shots, you feel like your aim is pretty decent, but you keep getting absolutely run over in those 1v1 fights. It is one of the most frustrating things in any shooter, and there's a really specific reason it's happening.
It's because the best players aren't just relying on one skill. See, winning is a system. They've optimized every single thing, from their settings to their strategy. So this isn't just going to be a list of tips. This is the pro playbook. And today, we're breaking it all down for you. Okay, let's dive into the first pillar of this system. Believe it or not, winning starts before you even fire a single shot. It all comes down to getting your setup right. Here are 3 simple changes you can make right now for an immediate edge. First, stabilize your crosshair. Make it a bright, static color so you never, ever lose it in a chaotic fight. Second, set your field of view. That's your FOV, somewhere between 100 and 110. A wider view lets you see more of the battlefield and track enemies way more easily. And third, and this is a big one, maximize your FPS by lowering your graphics. A smoother game means more accurate aim, and less visual junk on the screen means fewer distractions.
Now this is crucial. There is no single best sensitivity. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's all about your playstyle. So if you're a methodical sniper who really values that super precise aim, you're probably going to want a lower sensitivity. But if you're an aggressive player who's always running around flanking people, a higher sensitivity will give you that lightning fast reaction time you need. You just got to experiment, find what feels right for you, and then stick with it.
Okay, let's move on to our second pillar, your arsenal. Once your settings are all dialed in, you gotta make sure you're bringing the right tools to the fight.
This table right here basically shows you the current meta. The S tier is completely dominated by 3 weapons: the super versatile assault rifle, the powerful permafrost, and the one-shot kill sniper. Now yeah, the A and B tiers have some strong weapons for certain situations, but if you really want to compete at the highest level, you need to focus on mastering these top-tier guns.
And here is the single most important thing to take away from this whole section. You do not need to grind for keys to be competitive. The default assault rifle is considered by so many top players to be the best all-around weapon in the entire game. It's fast, it's damaging, and it's effective at almost any range. You literally have an S-tier weapon from the second you start playing.
So, you've got the right setup and you've got the right weapon. The next piece of this system is movement. And trust me, it's not just about getting from point A to point B. It's about controlling fights and making yourself an impossible target to hit.
The absolute bedrock of movement in Rivals is B-hopping. It's simple. You just continuously crouch and jump the very instant you land. What this does is it lets you keep your momentum, move way faster, and it makes your path so much less predictable for an enemy trying to aim at you. Every single top player has this mastered. It's non-negotiable.
And for some more advanced mobility, you've got nade jumps. By blowing up a grenade under your feet at just the right moment, you can launch yourself clear across the map. It is perfect for escaping a fight that's going bad, getting to a powerful high ground position, or just catching an opponent completely off guard.
We've built the foundation, but now we're at the skill that ultimately decides who wins and who loses. It doesn't matter how good your movement is. If you can't land your shots, you're going to lose. So let's talk about aim. So here's the first major problem with aiming. You line up a perfect shot, your crosshairs is dead on their head, but the bullet just goes somewhere else. Why? Well, it's because when you fire from the hip, your shots have random spread. But don't worry, there is a fix. The solution is the quick scope. By just tapping your aim button for a split second right as you fire, you force the game to give you perfect 100% accuracy for that one shot. Mastering this guarantees that your most important shots will land exactly where you want them to. It is an absolute game changer.
Now for the second problem. Good players are B-hopping and moving so randomly that trying to smoothly track them is almost impossible. You find yourself constantly overcorrecting, always shooting just behind them. So how do the pros deal with this?
They don't track, they flick. Flicks are all about pure reaction speed. Instead of trying to follow a target, you train your muscle memory to instantly snap your camera to wherever they appear on your screen. It doesn't matter how fast an opponent is moving if you can just flick to their position and land a quick-scoped shot in an instant.
So we've covered the what, we've given you the techniques. Now for the final piece of the system, the how. Knowing all this stuff is one thing, but practicing it effectively is what really separates the good players from the great ones.
This quote from the player Mr. Gecko just perfectly sums up the core philosophy of how to practice. Spending all your time in a controlled, predictable environment just won't prepare you for a real fight.
Think about it like this. The shooting range is your punching bag. Yeah, it's good for warming up and building some basic muscle memory against targets that don't move. But live games, that's the real sparring match. You're fighting unpredictable, thinking opponents, and that is the only way to build real combat experience and actually get better, faster.
So here's the big takeaway. Use the shooting range for like a 5-minute warm-up, and then immediately jump into real matches. You have to seek out players who are better than you. Don't be afraid to lose. Treat every single game not as a test of your skill, but as a training session. That is the fastest path to improvement.
You now have the complete system. The pro playbook is in your hands. So the only question left is, who are you going to challenge first?